Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I have two Easter decor DIYs I would like to share with you. First thing we're going to do is use four Dollar Tree Easter cards, some stencils, scissors, paintbrushes, Mod Podge, and Waverly chalk paint. I picked up these canvases over at Dollar Tree. They're 4x6, and we're going to spell the word out spring, and so make sure that you have 6. Next, I'm going to take Waverly chalk paint in Ivory and my little supervisor. She's always getting into stuff. Alright, so we're going to take that Ivory chalk paint and we're going to paint each canvas, and we're only just going to do one coat. Next, I'm going to take my cards, and I knew that as soon as I saw this one card that I wanted to use the carrot, so I'm just going to cut the back off the card, and I'm going to cut each individual carrot out. Next, I took this next card, and I loved all the little pictures on it because as soon as I seen it, I wanted to use the watering can, the butterflies, the ducks, the flowers, Easter eggs, and can you guess what I did with that? Next, I'm going to take my stencils and I'm going to spell out the word spring. So I laid down my first stencil right in the center of the canvas, and then I'm going to line up the rest of my canvases side by side so that I can make sure that each letter is even with the last letter. Then I'm going to go in with my Waverly chalk paint and elephant, and I'm just going to do the blotting technique to paint the letters. And y'all, I was inspired by something that I had seen over at Michael's. It was a welcome sign, and it had really cute little vintage bunnies painted on it with the flowers, and it was so cute. I think it was like $14.99 on sale for $5. Anyway, I just saw that and thought I could probably do a dupe. So I don't bother waiting until the letters are dry. I just go ahead and take the stencils off and I let that dry. Next thing I do is I take that same chalk paint and I just go over the edges. I do this with each canvas, and I just like to do the edges and make a little distressed look. And I do like how some of the letters actually make it look like it's a wood background. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pieces that I had cut out from the cards, and I'm just kind of placing them where I think they would go best. And then I'm going to go in with my Mod Podge, and I'm just doing a light coat on the bottom, and then I'm going to place my picture and then do a light coat over top of it. Now, if you do light coats, it doesn't actually take a long time to dry. So, I mean, if you did really heavy coats, then it would probably take about 24 hours to dry, but this only took just a couple hours. I really like how this little bunny is looking up at the carrot. I think it's so cute. And for this one, I decided to hide a little Easter egg inside the G. Next, I'm taking the burlap ribbon that I had also picked up from Dollar Tree. And now this is where I messed up. Okay, so I'm taking the letters and I'm spelling out the word spring, and then I'm flipping them over side instead of end over end. So then when I take my burlap ribbon and I connect them all, guess what happened? The word was spelled backwards. So I tried to avoid my mistake and flip them end over end. So I have my burlap pieces cut. I have 5 pieces and I'm just kind of spacing them apart, and I'm going to be connecting them with that. And I have my my ruler, and I'm just trying to make sure that my canvases are perfectly straight, and I go in with my hot glue gun a little bit on either side of my canvas, and I press the burlap ribbon down. And just so I don't burn my fingers, I use the back of my scissors to press that down. Next, I'm going in with the tumbler tower game and some super glue, and I'm going to take 2 of the Jenga blocks, and I'm going to use the super glue and glue them together. This is going to create a little stand for the back of our canvas. Once you attach those 2 together, the dry time is 10 minutes. Once that 10 minutes is up, then you can go ahead and glue the Jenga blocks to the back of your canvas. And I do this with all of them. I just skipped ahead forward. So now with some E6000 for long-lasting hold and my hot glue gun for immediate hold, I'm going ahead and take those Jenga blocks and make my little stand. Excuse my hair for being in the way. And this is how it turned out. I think it turned out super cute. I really love all the different pictures that are on each and every letter, trying to make a little scene out of them, and I think it's just adorable. Now for my next DIY, I have for you this moss bunny. This is also another Michael's dupe. And I'm starting with this canvas that my daughter originally had. She didn't want to use it anymore. My other daughter started to paint on it. So I took some moss, a stencil of a bunny I printed out, my screwdriver, and my little supervisor. So with my screwdriver, I'm just going to carefully wedge it underneath the staples and lifting them up, and then I'm just going to use a pair of pliers to rip them out. And I do this for all the staples around the canvas. And once you have all of those taken out, you're going to take the frame out. There's actually a piece of cardboard inside, which is perfect because that's going to be used for our backing. And I love how there is a really nice edge on that frame. So then I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut along the crease line of the canvas because we're still going to use that as well. And we're going to do this along all 4 sides. Once you have your 4 sides cut out, I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to just apply a little bit of glue on the corners of the canvas and the cardboard. Once you have all 4 corners done, you can go ahead and attach your frame. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use my staple gun. And this is the part where I freaked out the cat. So you just want to do a few staples around each side of your canvas. And once you get that done, now it's time to paint. And this I am taking Waverly chalk paint in Ivory, and I'm just doing 1 coat on this canvas. And I know you can't tell in the video here, but this is really helping with the picture, the original picture that was showing through. And then I had forgot to tape the sides, so I did that. Next, I've got my Waverly Antique wax paint, and with a little bit of water, I am just going over the canvas frame with my paper towel. And the antique wax with the water just makes a really nice stain. So this was another Michael's dupe. I had seen this, I can't remember, I think it was something like around $20 for this. I think it's maybe even a little bit smaller. And I was really happy that with this, I really didn't have to pay anything because I already had all the supplies on hand. So once your frame is all dry, I went in with my bunny stencil. I just printed this up on my computer. And I'm just trimming the paper down so I can trim it a little easier. Cutting around the edges. And then once I did that, I'm going to trace this bunny onto the canvas, and I'm actually going to trace this just a little bit bigger than what the stencil actually is because I really wanted it to be a bigger bunny. And this is what it looks like after you do that. Okay, so then you're going to take your hot glue gun and just little sections at a time, just so your hot glue does not dry on you too quick. You're just going to take your hot glue, outline a part of the bunny and fill it in, and then dump your moss on top of it. Now this part is going to get messy, I'm not going to lie. Just have fun with it and just keep playing around with it until you get all of your moss covered. Covering your bunny, doing little sections at a time because the hot glue dries pretty quickly. Now fast forwarding a little bit, I'm actually just going in with my scissors, cutting whatever is loose. If you find a bald spot, you just add a little bit more hot glue, fill it in with some extra moss, and go back in with your scissors, cutting and filling and trimming until you find that bunny hidden inside. Now, I'm not going to lie, this actually did take a while, but just have patience and just have fun with it. And this really turns out so cute in the end. And once I have all that done, I just went in with some hairspray just to make sure that that moss stays put. So then here I have some raffia, and I'm just going to make a little bow for our bunny. So I'm just wrapping it around my fingers a few times, and I'm pinching it in the center, making a knot, pulling it tight, and then I'm just going to trim off the ends. And then with a little bit of hot glue, I just press it down right on the neck. And this is how it turned out. Isn't that adorable? I just absolutely love this. I'm so glad that I saved my daughter's canvas frame. She didn't want it anymore, and I'm so glad I hung on to it. Again, I really love how this turned out. This is beautiful. This is probably going to be one that I keep for a very long time. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, and I sure hope you did, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share with your friends and family and coworkers. Bye!